All right, we are now live. Tweaking the caption quick here. Good to go. Just gonna pull up and check that we are live on Facebook. Looks like we are. A few of you may be joining already. Looks like 3 are on. So those that are hopping on and joining us, hashtag live below and let us know. I have a very special guest list here today in the back room I'm about to bring out here shortly to share the details on his up and coming live virtual summit that he's hosting. I had the pleasure to be invited by Zeky to take part in the summit next week. I'm super excited to deliver my training next Thursday. And I wanted to bring him in here today to the group to share with you guys what he has going down next week, as it is something that's super special. And I know it's something that everyone in this group, or many of you in this group, will really benefit from and can take part in for free. So at this time, I will bring in the man himself, Zeky.
What is happening, man? Thanks for bringing me here.
Welcome in, man. Good to have you here. As we kick
pleasure.
things off here to start, we'll let a few more jump in. Again, hashtag live below if you're joining, and then we'll kick things off here with Zeky's stories. I know many of you here in the group are familiar with him before and you know him, but some of you here may not know him, so we'll let him share his story to introduce himself.
For sure, man. Be happy to do that. By the way, if you guys see me looking down in the middle of talking, it's because I have my cell phone here and I'm watching you guys in the Facebook group so I can see who's interacting. But big shout out to everybody who's live with us and let us know who's here, because I love to know who's interacting and we can have a conversation back and forth. So just drop a comment below and let us know if you're here. So
to note too as well, just not to interrupt here, but before we begin, just so we can see your comments, if everybody could go to chat.restream.io/FB and just put in your name there. That way we can see your comments throughout the live. We are streaming across Facebook and on my YouTube channel right now to make sure as many people as possible can see this. So definitely drop as many comments as you can on this live and be sure to go to this link before you do.
Awesome. Cool. All right. So yeah, so like Blake said, I'm going to share with you guys some exciting details for a summit we got coming up. It's actually starting on Monday, so we're only 3 days out. We got 16 badass speakers that are coming through, and Blake is one of them. So I'm really excited to share with you guys the details on that. But before we do that, Blake asked me to share a little bit of my backstory. So let's jump into that. First off, I know many of you inside of Blake's community are already part of my Cult Builders community or familiar with me. So if there's any familiar faces, let me know below. I'd love to see who's hanging out. And if we don't know each other, let me know a little bit about you. Comment below, tell me where you're tuning in from and what you do, what kind of business you're in. I'd love to get to know each of you. I see Eddie, Kevin, Tim, and a few of you tuning in with us now. It doesn't show me all your names. So long story short, I got started in the whole entrepreneurship game back in 2012, and it was a very long journey. Obviously, I mean, we're talking about more than a decade. I initially got my start through MLM and network marketing, and I think a lot of people probably have had that experience at some point. I know many people I speak to in the online entrepreneurship space and in affiliate marketing as well had that kind of start. Let me know in the comments if you've ever been in that game. But that's where I got my start. I was hanging out with some buddies in the city where I'm from originally, Windsor, Ontario, Canada, right on the border with Detroit, Michigan. And I was hanging out in my buddy's basement. We were playing 2K12, NBA video game. And they told me a buddy was coming from out of town, someone who I had never met before. They said this guy was crushing it with his own business. He was an entrepreneur making a ton of money. So the next day he comes down. I was already, my interest was piqued because at the time I was actually working labor on a tomato farm. And because I lived in Windsor, which was, and I think possibly still is, the unemployment capital of Canada, because ever since the recession, we're right on the border with Detroit. So the entire economy in Windsor basically existed to support the automotive industry in America, in Michigan. And when that went down, so did Windsor's economy. So we became the unemployment capital, highest unemployment rate in all of Canada, one of the highest unemployment rates in all of North America. And a lot of people, myself included at the time, were working jobs that were under the table. They weren't technically legal jobs. We were getting paid in cash, less than minimum wage. And that was my situation. So obviously, I wanted something better. And so I went to this meeting with the guy called the opportunity meeting. They introduced me to the vision and the dream of being in business for yourself, firing your boss, and not having to spend the rest of your life in a 9-to-5. So I was hooked. I joined that company. I was in it for, I don't know how long, maybe a year and a half, 2 years. Made a little bit of money in the beginning, but it didn't really work out for me. So I left MLM, but this, it piqued my interest with entrepreneurship. And I couldn't shake this entrepreneurship bug, because I had realized by then And while I was, like I said, I was working in labor before, right? But while I was in this network marketing company, I realized during that point, and also because they kind of indoctrinated me with it, that it would be very worthwhile for me to build my sales skills if I want to be able to run my own business for the rest of my life. So I had transitioned from working labor jobs to working sales jobs, and I had worked different sales jobs over the next couple of years. I worked door to door. I worked in a call center, in a cubicle. I worked face to face in stores, tons of different contexts, and I actually did pretty well and ended up becoming a sales trainer. So so I had all these different job experiences over the years, and at the same time I realized this was not what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I didn't enjoy working a 9 to 5. Interestingly enough, by the way, my dad is actually an entrepreneur, and he had been an entrepreneur since I was young, since I was around the age of 13. So he was an engineer. He used to work for GE, and he got laid off in I think it was, what year was it? I don't know. I was 13 years old, around that age. He got laid off, and that's when he decided to become, go in business for himself. So I had been watching him over the years building his own business. Now he was building an offline business, so there's a lot of similarities with what we do online, because business is business, marketing is marketing. But at the same time, there were a lot of differences, because online business, it's very different than building offline businesses. And I'm sure Blake can attest to that, with since he has history of family business as well. So I watched over the years my dad building his business, going through a lot of struggle with that, and just the grind of being an entrepreneur and trying to make something happen. And my dad always tried to instill this entrepreneurship mindset in me. I remember when I was younger, he used to say things to me like, "Hey, Zeky, when you grow up, are you going to be the guy who is going around begging people for jobs, or are you going to be the person building something and giving jobs out to other people?" So he was always trying to instill this. While other kids were getting in trouble because they were making mistakes, my dad, he had a sign that he wrote and put on our wall, and it said, "Please make mistakes," and it was always reminding us, you'll never get in trouble for making mistakes. That's how you learn. And so he was always trying to instill this kind of mindset in me and my siblings. But being the rebellious kid I was always I was always trying to go against it, and I didn't really pay attention to what he had to say. Even when I went to university, he tried to get me to go into business because I did really good in high school. Most of high school, I didn't give a damn about any of my classes. I even failed a whole semester because I was just skipping. It wasn't because I was stupid. All my teachers used to complain because they said, on the exams, I got the highest grades. But then I never handed in a single assignment, single piece of homework. I used to skip too much class, to the point that in 11th grade, I failed an entire semester. But when it came to my business class, I was top. I was top of the class. I was doing all the assignments because I just enjoyed it. So when I graduated, eventually I went back because I did another semester in high school just to get serious, because I wanted to get into university. So I had to like up my average, and I did it. And then I got into university. My dad wanted me to go into business, but I was like, no, just simply because my dad was telling me to do it. I was that rebellious kid, right? So it's just funny. It's funny that after all of that, I ended up ultimately getting into business and getting into entrepreneurship through another means, which my dad is probably thinking in his head, "What the heck is wrong with you, Zeky? I've been telling you this for years," and then you go get in because some guy recruited you into an MLM. But anyways, that was back in 2012. So fast forward some more years.
Not to
Up
interrupt, but
until
like right post school, like what'd you do right after school? After you kind of decided business isn't for me, I'm not going to do business now, going against the grain of your dad. What'd you do right after graduation?
Yeah, so I actually went to political science. That's what I did for university initially, and then I kept jumping from major to major. So I was in political science, and I went to media and communication, and eventually I did actually switch into business, and I only
Which
did
then
that
led
for a
to
bit.
MLM.
No. I went to MLM. I had already started university. I was in political science when I got into the MLM. I
Okay.
ended up, so there's a lot of years in the middle here, right? So first I was in political science, then I just took off years of school. So I stopped going to school for a bit, and I was doing my sales jobs and all that kind of stuff, and for a period of time still trying to do the MLM on the side. And then eventually I went back to school. By the time I went back to school, can't remember what year it was, but I went back and went into business. I think first I went to media and communication, and then I went to business. Everything is kind of blurred all together. And I was actually trying to build an e-commerce business on the side. So 2016, I was going to business now. I had switched into the business program, and I had also started building a drop shipping business online because I had taken a course and it was teaching me how to do drop shipping. I think probably a lot of people listening in here are familiar with the idea of drop shipping. If you're not familiar with what it is, basically e-commerce, selling physical products, but instead of carrying a bunch of inventory, what I was doing was I was running Facebook ads, getting sales from customers, and I had to deal with suppliers so that when I got the sales, after I got the sales, I can go back to them and they'd ship the product directly out to my customer. That's what drop shipping is, right? So that's what I was doing from 2016 until about a year and a half to 2 years after that, while I was also in school. At the same time, I was also working a job. So I had done all those sales jobs, but by this point, I had transitioned into, there was this organization that I started off with them. It was a nonprofit organization. I started off with them as a volunteer, and in around like 2014-ish. I think I started with them 2013 actually. And then I ended up becoming the head of our local chapter, and we became one of the top performing chapters in all of North America. So as a result, they hired me onto HQ and they made me their country manager for Canada. But I was kind of wearing multiple hats. I was their country manager for Canada. I also oversaw some of the chapters in America and then also some even in Europe. And I was also at the same time their training and development head, because it was a very small HQ, similar if you've ever worked in a startup. They're a big organization, multinational organization, but the team it was very similar to being in a startup where, if you have a smaller team, you're wearing multiple hats and all that.
I can relate that a lot with the family business.
Exactly.
I do a little bit of everything.
Exactly, man. So that's what I was doing at the time. I was going to school. I had this job that was technically a part-time job, but because it was a nonprofit organization, because we were a smaller team, ended up a lot of times being a little bit more full-time than part-time. And I was trying to build the e-commerce business at the same time as well. So my time was swallowed up by all of these things. Now, I also didn't have a heck of a lot of money to fund the e-commerce business because I was working in the nonprofit sector. The pay wasn't crazy, right? It was both a part-time job and it was nonprofit. So it wasn't a whole lot of money. But I was putting everything that I could into Facebook ads because that was the only way that I knew how to drive traffic. And that was fine for like a year and a half, although, I had to basically use every penny I had and be very frugal and all that. I was like, it's okay. This is part of the game. This is part of the process. And I kept doing it. Eventually, about almost 2 years in, I got to this point where I had been testing different products, and I had certain products where on the ad spend, I was at least breaking even, but a lot of times even making profit if you just looked at the ad spend and what customers were spending with me in a vacuum, and you didn't take into account that I also had to source the products. So there's cost of goods. I got to deal with shipping and returns and all that stuff. So when all of those extra costs came in, I was no longer profitable. But I saw that the products were converting. So, and it was a few of them. So I wanted to keep testing it. And I knew, if I could just gather some more data, if I could just run some more ads, if I could just put a little bit more money into the ads, I can get all of the information and data that I need to tweak it a bit more and get it across that chasm and just get it profitable. So that's the way I was thinking, right? Now I had a limited budget. So what I decided to do, and this was a big risk that I took, but anybody who knows me in my personal life knows that I'm a very non-risk averse person, which is probably a big part also what drove me into entrepreneurship compared to a lot of other people. So I was very not risk averse. I'm actually much more risk averse now just because of the fact I got married, and it's not just about me anymore, right? So what I did was to get more money to put into my ads, 1 month I just decided not to pay the rent. And I didn't tell this to my family. And I was living with my siblings, and so my family lived with me, and they were relying on me. I was taking care of the rent at that point. But I didn't tell them that I didn't pay the rent because the way I saw it was this product is almost profitable. I just need like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and I'll be good. If the rent's late by like 2-3 weeks, I'm not going to be on the streets because of that. So I was like, okay, I'm going to pay it, and everything will be fine. Fast forward a couple weeks later, the product was still breaking even, and I still wasn't turning a profit. So the next month's rent came due, and I decided to take the risk again because I still thought I was on the verge, and I was a very optimistic guy. I've always been a very optimistic guy for the most part. So it's a good thing. It helped me out a lot in my journey, but at the same time, sometimes it wasn't the best thing because I would. What do you say?
Tough to know when to say no. Yeah.
Exactly, because sometimes I would be a little bit too overconfident and wouldn't make the best decisions as a result of it. And that's what happened here. So I started, so long story short, it was 3 months in a row where I just didn't pay the rent, and I also didn't pay a few of my other bills, and it was just racking up that debt. And I was just trying to get the thing profitable. And I kept telling myself that, yeah, you owe money. Yeah, you got this debt now, but you just need another week. You just need another week. Once the ads turn profitable, then you'll be able to scale up your ad spend. You'll be able to get an influx of all these sales, make all that money back in like a week or two, and you can pay everything off. So you'll be fine. And that's what I was thinking until I got a letter in the mail, and it was from my landlord, from the corporation that was our landlord. And at the top of the letter it said, "This is a legal notice that could lead to you being evicted from your home." And it had a court date already on it. That was about 2 months out. And basically what the letter said was, you owe X amount of money. And if I remember correctly, it was $2,620, I think, roughly around that. And you have 2 months before this date that we've already booked in court. Either you can pay us the full amount that you owe us plus any new rent that came due, which means that I would have to pay a couple, each month rent was like 800 something at the time. Much better times than now. I don't know where you guys live, but I can tell you, at least where I live in Toronto, rent is very different, is a very different story now than back then. But anyways, it was going to be a couple grand that I would have to pay within a 2-month window, or else I would have to go to court, basically be evicted. And now, obviously, for me, you know, I was a young dude. I was in my mid-20s. I had never, ever, like, I faced things in life, but I had never, ever had a eviction notice before. I had never been put in this kind of situation. And it was very, very nerve-wracking. And what made it even harder was the fact that I had been trying to build my own businesses and try different ways since years before that, all the way going back to 2012. So we're talking about 6 years in my journey, because when I got this letter, it was mid 2018. So this is 6 years of not making anything work. And that whole time I stayed optimistic. That whole time I knew that, you know, it's not going to be easy, because if it was easy, the common saying goes, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, right? Very small percentage of society are entrepreneurs for a reason. So I knew it wasn't going to be easy. And despite how much failure I had faced up until then, I never gave up, because it was just part of it was part of the story. It was part of the journey. But this was the point where it really felt to me like everything was over, because obviously, you know, now I was in this horrible personal situation financially, but also I had to shut down my business entirely, because the only way that I knew how to drive traffic was Facebook ads. And I couldn't afford to keep sinking money into it, considering that I was already, you know, I needed every dollar I could scrape together just to avoid this eviction. And also I was going to have new bills coming up over the course of those 2 months. So I just couldn't afford to put anything more into the business. So I shut down my Facebook ads. I shut down my Shopify store. I just closed down the whole business.
At this point in time, did your family know about any, like, did they see the letter or anything like that? Or
Oh yeah, now they knew, because I couldn't hide that anymore, right? And so that was very embarrassing. That was very, I mean, I felt so ashamed and felt like a complete failure, honestly. But I couldn't keep hiding it, and I had to figure out how to solve the situation. Luckily, I did manage to avoid the eviction, because I just hit the pavement, and I'm like, you know, let me focus on this first. I hit up some friends, grabbed, like, you know, a couple hundred here, a couple thousand there from different people, so that I can pay it off. So I was able to, from a couple friends, get enough money together to avoid the eviction. Now the catch to it, though, was I did it on the premise that I was going to pay them back by that December. So I gave myself a couple months, but I didn't know how I was going to do it, because I wasn't making enough money at my job to be able to keep up with the new bills that would come and put money aside to pay them off my friends. And also, I didn't have the time, or even forget the time, I didn't have the qualifications to get any kind of job, the resume to get any kind of job that would pay me enough, especially in a city like Windsor, where we were the unemployment capital of the entire country. I didn't know how I'd be able to get another job that's going to be able to give me enough money to get out of that situation. So I knew, you know, although I wanted to give up, frankly, I wanted to give up on this whole online thing because I started becoming very skeptical, which was a big deal for me because, like I said, naturally I'm a very optimistic dude, and I had already gone through this for years, and I had never given up, and I had people speaking to me from every direction, telling me that I'm wasting my time. When I took a couple of years off from school, they're like, "What the heck are you doing? Everybody your age is already graduating, and now you're taking off school. You're falling behind. Stop playing with this online stuff." So people had been saying that stuff to me for years. So I
This
already
was
had
probably
all
also
that
right around the
negative.
time of the housing crisis too, wasn't it? When the economy was collapsing as well.
Yeah, well, we're talking about 2018 is when this all happened. So to be honest, I'm not like
It's right
not
around then.
fully
Yep.
yeah. I'm not fully familiar with what the housing market was like that time because I was just preoccupied in my own little world. But yeah. So it was a tough time, bottom line. And I kind of part of me wanted to give up, but at the same time, I knew I couldn't just throw in the towel because the only chance of me even being able to pay my friends back and to make enough money and to get out of this whole financial rut in general was for me to figure something else out on my own and probably online. So I started looking into other options of what I could do. I decided not to stop doing the whole drop shipping thing because I just couldn't do something that was so capital intensive and required me to have a budget for it. So that's when I decided to get into affiliate marketing. And I had already been I had already been familiar with affiliate marketing for years, but I didn't really understand it that deeply because my exposure to affiliate marketing was, if you remember, I mentioned how early in my journey I was in an MLM company, and I had since left that years ago, but I was still connected on Facebook to some of the people who I had met back then when I was part of that MLM company. And some of them transitioned eventually into affiliate marketing. But the type of affiliate marketing they were doing is they were promoting like those very scammy clickbank, Warrior Plus type deals where the landing page was super, like it looked like the shadiest thing you've ever seen, and the hooks, the headlines, and everything were the claims they were making. They'd tell you that they're going to show you how to make $712,000 per second in the next 5 minutes by simply blinking your eyelids. You know what I mean? So it would be crazy. Like that's what I had seen of affiliate marketing, and that's what I thought affiliate marketing was. I thought affiliate marketing was some shady thing people do online to try and figure out how they can shiest people and just get the foolish people to buy from them. So I had never considered it. But when I started doing more research, I realized that that's not really what affiliate marketing is. That's what some people do. But I realized that affiliate marketing, it's not even a different type of marketing. And that's the funny thing I find with affiliate marketers. A lot of people who get into affiliate marketing, they self-identify as an affiliate marketer. I don't consider affiliate marketing a type of marketing. It's not. Affiliate marketing is a monetization method. That's all it is. The marketing is the same thing. What you're selling on the back end to an extent is almost irrelevant. You're still building your brand, your marketing. If you're going to build a community like you have here, Blake, in your Facebook group, building the marketing skills, sales, having conversations with people, you're doing all that kind of stuff. The only difference is instead of sending them to your coaching program or your course, you're selling them somebody else's thing as an affiliate. It's just a monetization method. So the word affiliate marketing is actually a misnomer, in my opinion. But anyways, that's a whole tangent.
Can relate. That's exactly how I got started too. Was with ClickBank too, and like my first, like I mentioned to you before, I got started with one funnel away. But when I went into ClickBank, I remember seeing names like Franklin Hatchet, like the high ticket offers there, and it was super scammy. And I thought like that's what affiliate marketing was. But then, like you mentioned as well, at the end of the day, all we're doing is just matching solutions to problems, and whether it's your solution or somebody else's solution, if you believe in it, it's the same thing either way.
100%. Exactly. Yeah. So I got into affiliate marketing, and this was shortly after that whole eviction notice. So it was still mid 2018. I think I got the letter in April, and then by the time I jumped into affiliate marketing was May or June, something like that. And my first month in affiliate marketing, I had a little bit of money left over from what I borrowed from my friends. So I thought to myself, I've been running Facebook ads for almost 2 years now. I've gotten pretty good at the targeting. So since I have a little bit of money left over, why don't I just put that money into ads this last time, run it to the affiliate link, but I don't have to now source products from China. I don't have to ship anything. I don't have to deal with anything to do with the physical products. The only thing I'm spending money on are the ads and a measly amount maybe for my autoresponder. That's it. So I figured this is a no-brainer. Obviously, I'm going to be profitable. Obviously, I'm going to make money right off the bat doing this. So I had $800 that I put into ads over the span of like a week or two. And I thought for sure I'm going to at least make a good amount back on that, maybe double it, triple it, who knows. So I did it. By the time I ended up spending that $800, I hadn't made a single sale with the affiliate offers that I was running it to. And I realized it's not as simple, it's not as magical of just putting on an ad on Facebook to whatever product you're promoting and expecting people to buy. Funnily enough, I did collect some emails, but because I was so green back then and I didn't realize that most marketers are making any good marketer really is making most of their money on the back end anyways. I didn't do anything with those emails. I just had a list of emails that I never even contacted. I just expected to put money into the Facebook ads, get sales immediately, make money, right off the bat, and just rinse and repeat. So that didn't work out at all. That's not what happened. I was just another $800 now in the hole than I was already with this whole situation. And now I was panicking even more because I'm like, man, this affiliate marketing thing didn't even work for me. What the heck am I going to do? Affiliate marketing sounded like it was going to be the easiest thing because I don't have to create a course. I don't have to do anything. I just have to sell it. But it didn't work out for me that first month. So I was very desperate, still kind of like wanted to throw in the towel, but I knew I couldn't because I just didn't have the option. So I started looking into other options, and I decided I was still going to stick with affiliate marketing because I figured it's still going to be the easiest thing for me as a beginner. Because my big problem, I knew I wanted to sell info products. I knew I wanted to sell digital products. But my biggest problem was I didn't feel like I had any expertise that was worth other people spending money on yet. And affiliate marketing was a solution for that. So I decided I was going to stick with affiliate marketing, but now I had to figure out how to do it without Facebook ads and how to do it organically. So I had joined these different Facebook groups, and I was part of the ClickFunnels world at the time. So there were all the dream car winners and people who had gotten results with the ClickFunnels affiliate program. And then also many of them were promoting other things too. And I had joined a few of their Facebook groups, people like Spencer Meekam and some other names a lot of folks might recognize if they're familiar with that world. And I was just consuming their content, seeing what they were sharing, because a lot of them were sharing a lot of valuable how-to stuff and sharing different techniques and strategies. And I remember coming across this one post that one affiliate who has since disappeared from the earth, but back then he was very active, and he had put a post. This was still around mid 2018, so this was my second month in affiliate marketing. He had put up a post in his group that said, "Here's the exact step-by-step approach that I used to get to my first $1,200 per month recurring with my affiliate business." And it was very simple step 1, step 2, step 3, but he put the whole thing like it was a long post. And really what he was teaching was Facebook organic, what probably most people who leverage Facebook organic nowadays in the especially high ticket affiliate space are familiar with. But back then in 2018, this stuff was new. Now everybody looks at Facebook organic. A lot of people even look at it as the old school way, and they're trying to find new ways to do things. But back then, nobody was talking about like the idea of a profile funnel, which probably a lot of people listening to this are familiar with the idea of a profile funnel. Let me know in the comments. Drop a number 1 in the comments if you guys know what I mean when I say a Facebook profile funnel, or drop a number 2 if you have no idea what the heck I'm talking about. But back then, there was only a few people who were talking about that. That wasn't a widely known concept. It was a revolutionary new idea. And he was one of those people. So he mentioned that. He talked about connecting with people in Facebook groups, adding folks as friends, and then connecting with them inside a messenger, and ultimately pointing them towards solutions to the problems that they bring up when you're chatting with them inside a messenger. So that's what I started doing. I did that for the next month, and I didn't entirely know what I was doing. It kind of felt like I was just throwing a bunch of things at the wall, and I didn't really have a streamlined process for it, but I was just communicating with people. And luckily I did have experience in sales, which definitely helped me too. So I was just communicating with people inside a messenger, and doing that in that second month of affiliate marketing, I made my first over $1,000 in affiliate commissions. And it wasn't recurring like in his case. Some of it was recurring because some of it was software like ClickFunnels and whatnot. So a small amount of it was recurring, but not all of it was recurring. But I had made over $1,000, and it wasn't a heck of a lot of money. It wasn't going to get me out of my financial crisis that I was in, but it was validation, and it completely changed the way that I viewed all this stuff. Because as I mentioned, I was starting to get a little bit skeptical, and it was because of all those years, all the shit that I went through. I hope it's all right swearing a little bit here in your community. I don't know the culture here. But yeah, after all the stuff I've been through, I I started getting a little bit skeptical, but then making these first commissions, it just completely changed the game for me. And I feel like that's where I really planted my flag and decided to get serious. And I realized that if I just put my head down and focus and do this consistently, that I could build something with this. So shortly after that, in September of 2018, I also started my Facebook group. Initially, I wasn't super serious about the Facebook group. It was kind of just a thing on the side where I was, when I sold things to people, I'd plug them into my group, or sometimes when I was talking to people inside a messenger, if they wanted to connect more, just plug them into the Facebook group. In the Facebook group, I just share things that I was learning as I go through courses, documenting my journey and stuff like that. And it was kind of a side thing. I think in the first month, I got like maybe 100 something members, and it was like that for a little bit, for maybe a month or two. But then I had a conversation with someone who later became my mentor, and he had a big Facebook group at the time. His Facebook group was like 10,000 people strong. And before, he was doing affiliate marketing as well, but he was a bit ahead of me. And he used to have a 6-figure corporate job, but he was able to leave that 6-figure corporate job in, I think, around 2 years. And he told me when we were having this conversation that the reason he was able to do that, and really what was the fuel for his business, was this community that he had built, which was contained inside his Facebook group. And I had this Facebook group that I was treating as a side thing. And basically what he said to me is, looks like you're sitting on this untapped opportunity if you just focus heavily on building your community. Because if you look at all the big names, and this is true even till today, just think about most of the people you follow. The vast majority of big names that you see, whether we're talking about in the affiliate space, we're talking about the info product space, we're talking about coaching, coaches, whatever, the big names that you follow in your niche, for the vast majority of you tuning in, I'm willing to bet good money that they've got a community of their own in some shape or form. Whether it's inside of a Facebook group or it's on another platform, they've got some kind of community, some kind of closed environment of their people with a culture that they've built and all of that. So it was from having that conversation that I decided to start focusing more heavily in building my own community and really nurturing the ties, and ultimately into a cult-like community that we got now. So I started building my Facebook group more heavily. Fast forward. So after September, fast forward a couple months to December of 2018, I hit my first 10K month through affiliate marketing, and also it was actually on the back of my first summit that I ever organized. So this was early in my journey. I organized the summit, and that was an amazing experience. I got to build a lot of connections, and many of the connections that later became very fruitful for me as I, in the future, launched my own software, started launching my own products. I've had the opportunity to, I got customers, people who use my software, for example, that are some of the biggest names in the online space. Spencer Meekam's a customer of mine. Jonathan Montoya, for those of you that are affiliates, but even outside of the affiliate space, Taki Moore, if you guys are familiar with him, Cole Gordon and others are customers of mine.
Right?
Sorry, can you say that again? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Comment funnels. Exactly. So, and I've had many of them, many big names become JVs, promote me in their courses and stuff like that. And a lot of those connections were built early in my journey from organizing that summit. So there was a lot of cool things that came about of that. But aside from that, it helped me get to my first 10K month off the back of it. 2 months later, I ended up leaving my job in February of 2019, and because I wanted to focus entirely on my business. Then from there, things just skyrocketed. That same year, I launched my software. So that was my first of my own evergreen product. So not the summit, I guess the summit really was my first of my own product, not an affiliate product that I launched. But then I launched my own software. Eventually, I transitioned into info products, consulting, and all of that. And then I transitioned into the Cult Builders brand. So because I wanted to, I had built my business initially with affiliate marketing, but that was more a stepping stone, right? I wanted to branch out of that, and I had built my own community. I had built my own brand to a certain extent and wanted to take that deeper. So that's where the whole Cult Builders brand came about, because when I was thinking back to my journey and thinking what was really the secret sauce that got me to where I was and allowed me to grow my business and allowed me to leave my job and live completely off my online income, and even move out of, I was living in little old Windsor, Ontario. Now I live in downtown Toronto next to Scotiabank Arena. I can literally watch the games from my balcony. That's part of why I got this condo here. But it's one of the, what do you say?
Good year to be a Raptors fan too.
Yeah. I just missed our championship, by the way, a couple of years ago. which year was it now? Even off to my head, everything blurs. I think it was 2021, if I'm not mistaken. I wasn't here yet. But Mister, it might have been 2020. I don't even know now. Everything's a blur to me these past couple of years. Anyways, so this entire lifestyle, everything, even getting married to my wife and all of that was funded really by this, what I had built online. And I realized that what I had built online was fueled by this group and this community that I had built. And that's where the Cult Builders brand came about, because that was my secret weapon. And I realized that's what I can also help other people with. And so I made the pivot in 2021. And since then, that's what I've been helping people with. And last year, that I decided to rebirth the summits. Like I said, I had done the summits earlier in my journey. It was a completely different thing, focused specifically around affiliate marketing. Back then, it was called the Affiliate Ninja Summit. And I had done 2 of them early in my journey, but then for years I just didn't do it. I got preoccupied with my other stuff. I had my software business. I had my, info products and stuff that I was all focused on. But then I was thinking back to it last year, and I actually launched this workshop. This is kind of what inspired the Cult Builders Live Summit. Is last year I had put together a workshop for a small group of people, teaching them how I used the summit early in my journey to explode my business and to explode my connections and to explode my audience, and also to bring a lot of benefit to my audience, because they got to come to this one event where they can learn from all of these people who had amazing expertise in their own specific topics. And it was a win-win-win for everybody involved. So I put together this workshop that I called Summit Sorcery. I had a good amount, like 20 people or whatever, that signed up for it. It was a closed group with limited numbers because I wanted to have that interaction with them. And I decided in the middle of the workshop, basically, I wanted to show them what it looks like in real life in action. And that's where the first Cult Builders Live Summit came about. So a couple months later, November 2022, this past November, we did the first ever Cult Builders Live Summit. And it was a knockout event. We had over 1,300 people register for it. It was an amazing experience. The testimonials that had come out of it were phenomenal. And so after that, I just decided, you know what, let me keep doing this, because people were loving it. People were benefiting from it. I have people till today that are still watching the recordings because they purchased the VIP pass for it. They're still going through it. They're putting it into practice. We had folks who joined our affiliate program for it as well, had never made a sale online before and started making their first commissions. So it was just an awesome experience, and I decided, why not do it again? And that brings us here today. So Blake is one of the speakers that I invited for our next round of the Cult Builders Live Summit, which is happening this coming Monday. And it's going to be for a week. It's completely free to attend. And the beautiful thing about it is, just like we did in the first summit, and I want to know, for those of you who are tuning in, I want to know if anybody attended the first Cult Builders Live Summit with us. Let me know in the comments if you were at the first Cult Builders Live Summit in November, or if this is the first time you're being exposed to or hearing about it. I'll give you guys a couple moments to drop those comments, because I know sometimes there's a little bit of a lag and it takes time for the comments to come through.
I know I was planning to attend the last one. I was on my honeymoon at the time.
Oh, but congratulations, man.
It went back as far as it did too. The fact that you started it even that early on as well. It's freaking amazing. I actually just looked back in your group. I joined your group on December 4th of 2019. And I remember being exposed to your profile funnel and your branding, and seeing, I think you had like a featured image that said like when to learn how to leave your full-time job without creating a product of your own. And that's got me in and exposed to like your first ninja thing in the group, and been following you since. It's cool to look back on.
Been a while then, man.
Been a long time.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, that's cool. And one of the things I love about this journey, by the way, is just like watching where people go. Because even one of our other speakers, so you joined my community back in 2019. One of our other speakers, Mio Drag, I was chatting with him, and he's been able to build an awesome business. I don't know if you're familiar with Mio Drag Milenkovic.
I am. Yep.
Okay, yeah. So I was chatting with him. He's one of our speakers, and he told me that he actually came across me way back in 2018 on that first summit that I organized. So and back then he didn't even have a business yet. He wasn't posting. He was one of those quiet lurkers. And he told me that summit was like his catalyst, where he's like, okay, you know what? He watched all this stuff. He learned a bunch, and he's like, I'm going to get serious now. And then now, all the 360 degrees, he's one of the speakers on our summit. So that's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool hearing stories like that. And who knows, maybe someone who's tuning in right now from your audience will be one of our speakers on one of our future summits. Fast forward a year, 2 years, 3 years down the line. So anyways, yeah, like I said, I love to invite you guys to tune in. I see most of the folks, I see the comments so far. Most of you guys haven't been exposed yet to the Cult Builders Live Summit. So you're in for a treat for sure. And Blake, if you could pull up my screen, what I'd like to share with you guys today is a couple things. Number one, obviously you have the opportunity to attend live and to join us live for the summit. But also, if you want to make some money, so there's a couple of days left to the summit, and you can continue doing this while the summit is live too. But if you also want to earn some commissions by simply sharing a free event where people are going to get a crap ton of value out of it, we do have an affiliate program, and it is open, and you can join it today, and you can start promoting as soon as today. And like I said, we've had a good amount of people. Not everybody reports back to me, but I get some messages from folks. So I don't know the full extent of it, but I know we've had a good amount of people who have never even sold anything online before, started promoting our summits, and the previous one and this one as well, it happened again. And they made their first sales online. And I can tell you right off the bat, last I looked at the numbers, right now we're converting at 20% of people who sign up for the summit for free end up purchasing something. So if that's
over 1,000 take part in the last one.
The last one we had over 1,300 people, close to 1,400 people. So it's an awesome opportunity. There's already buzz out there, so you're basically kind of piggybacking on the buzz. You know, speakers, you're here learning about it from Blake. I've been going live with the other speakers. Affiliates are promoting it all over the place, so the buzz is already there. Probably a lot of people that you're connected with are going to sign up if they're not already signed up. So why not just tag on to that and spread the word? So basically what's going to happen is you should be able to find a link somewhere around this video, in the caption of the video, possibly maybe in the comments too. I'm sure Blake can drop a link for you guys in the comments, but it'll take you like 1 second to grab your free ticket for the event. All you got to do is you see the page that's on your screen right now. It'll take you to that page. You just enter, let me scroll down for you guys. So you just enter your name and email right over here, and then you click the big red button and you'll get a message from me by email giving you all the details to attend live. And I am sending out the full schedule today as well. So I recommend if you can even do it now, it's best to do it now because I'm going to send it after I get off this call in the next hour or two or so. Just got to tie some loose ends on my end. I'm going to send an email out with the full schedule. You wanted to say something, Blake?
Yeah, link is in the comments below as well. It's in the description of the comment for those that want to grab and sign up now as they're here.
Perfect. Cool. Yeah, so like I said, it's completely free for you to attend. It doesn't cost you a penny. It's 5 days of pure value. I told all of our speakers, I don't want this to be like a webinar pitch or anything like that. Each speaker has an hour to train plus extra time for live audience Q&A. So you have the opportunity to interact and get your questions answered, but it's just going to be pure, you know, giving you actionable stuff that you can put into practice in your business right away as soon as you attend, and it doesn't cost you a penny to attend. Now, if you're smart, what I would recommend you do is to upgrade to a VIP ticket, which you'll see the opportunity to do so when you sign up. And the reason I recommend it and the reason I say it's the smart thing to do is because this way you won't have to miss out on a single session. Because yes, it is free for you to attend the full thing live, but you have to keep in mind, we got 16 different speakers and we got some badass names here that some of you might recognize. You know, Spencer Meekham, who I mentioned before, Marissa Romero, she's a massive YouTuber and she's going to talk all about how to build a 6 to 7 figure YouTube channel. We got Des DeBreva, the queen of branding. We've got, you know, other names that you guys are probably familiar with. And obviously Blake here, you guys obviously know him. So they're all going to be bringing some of their best stuff to help you guys with growing your business and growing your own cult following online. Now, because it's so many speakers, though, we're looking at potentially 20 plus hours of content over the course of a week. And I know you have your own lives. I know, you know, you got your own business, you got jobs, you got kids, you got family. So it might be difficult to devote all that time live. And even if you had the time, I don't know if you necessarily want to do that because it's kind of fire hosing of information. So what I would personally recommend you do, and this is what I like to do when I attend anything like this, is simply upgrade to the VIP All Access Pass. Inexpensive. It's $125. At least less than what I spend on a night out. And I'm sure that's the same for many of you, depending where you live in the world. And you'll get all of the recordings from the event, so you don't have to miss a single session. But not only that, you'll get a ton of additional bonuses. And I'm not going to go into a pitch here because when you come to this page, there's a quick 5-minute video here you can watch, gives you all the details, or you can simply scroll down and you'll see everything that you get. But you get some juicy stuff. But what I do want to mention, and this is the reason I'm going over this right now,
25
What I
bucks.
do want to mention,
It's freaking
Blake, did you just say something? I
said
think
it's
there might
only
have been a lag.
125 bucks. It's a steal.
Exactly. And what I do want to mention, because it's not on the page here, is some of the speakers are throwing in some of their own bonuses that I did not list it here. So it's going to be surprise bonuses. And some of those surprise bonuses themselves alone, if you were to purchase them separately, if they're even available on the market, because they're not all available on the market, but if you were to purchase them separately, some of those cost more than the VIP pass itself.
I can state now that I know that my bonus is double the amount that just it is to upgrade to the VIP ticket.
There you go. And that's just one of them. And we have other speakers throwing things in, some things that you can't even get anywhere else unless you purchase sometimes their highest end programs and stuff like that. So it's really a no-brainer. You can see some of the testimonials when you come on this page of what people had to say who purchased it. But yeah, I mean, that's totally up to you. It's completely optional. One other benefit, though, that you do get with the VIP pass, for those of you who plan to promote this as an affiliate, is you will also get increased VIP commissions. And when you join the affiliate rate, the affiliate program, you'll get details on the whole funnel and what you get paid based on what people purchase and all of that. But basically, to give you a quick highlight here, the difference is pretty significant. It doesn't cost you anything to become an affiliate, and I'll give you details in a moment on the affiliate program. But I just want you to know you do not have to purchase the VIP pass to become an affiliate. You can become an affiliate for free. Now, if you did not purchase the VIP pass and you're what we call a non-VIP affiliate, you're able to make up to a little bit more than $500 per person that you refer to the event. Keep in mind, you're simply promoting a free event. So that's pretty good bang for your buck. And I take care of the conversion. You don't even have to worry about that. You just send them over to our free event. I take care of converting them into buyers for you. And up until right now, our conversion rate so far has been 20%, which is a pretty good conversion rate from people who sign up for the free event to purchasing the VIP pass. And depending on what they purchase, if they buy the VIP pass and any upsells after that, you can make up to around $500 per free referral. Now, if you purchase your own VIP pass, your rate will be increased to VIP affiliate commission rates, which is around 4 times as much for the same effort. Without them having to buy anything extra, you on top of, like, compared to the non-VIP affiliates, just for the same effort you're already doing, you can make up to $2,000 per person that you refer to the event, depending on what they buy. And on the front end, I hope I'm not bombarding you guys with too much numbers here, but on the front end,
any questions if we run through this too as well, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Yeah,
feel free to drop them, because I'm happy to stick around and answer questions for you guys afterwards. So on the front end, by the way, the VIP commission rate for folks who buy the VIP pass through you is 80%, which means that when you buy your VIP pass for $125, all you need is to get a single sale and you make $100 of that back. You basically make back pretty much everything that you spent on it. If they buy a single upsell after that, or you make your next sale after that, you're already in profit. Everything from there is profit. But now you basically ended up with all of the recordings from the event, all of these bonuses, the bonus that Blake is throwing in that's unannounced, and the bonuses from all the other speakers, all of that basically for free, simply because you're promoting it as an affiliate too. So it's pretty cool, pretty badass opportunity, if you ask me. And last but not least, this will be the last thing that I throw in there, because Blake will be able to give you the link to sign up for as an affiliate too. So if you want to become an affiliate, drop a comment below, #affiliate. That way he knows to come back and give you that link to sign up as an affiliate. And what's going to happen is when you sign up for your affiliate link, you're going to get an email from me giving you access to this page, which is called our affiliate quick start guide. Go through this immediately. I recommend going through it today, because this is going to give you everything that you need to hit the ground running as an affiliate. This is the reason that we've had people come in who had never sold anything online before, and were able to get people signing up to the event, able to start getting sales without any prior experience. Recently, I got a message from one guy for this affiliate, for this summit. I mean, one guy who got started online 4 days before he joined our affiliate program. And the first day that he joined our affiliate program, he made his first affiliate commission. So I'm not just tooting my horn here. I'm not just tooting our horn here. We got the results to back it up. So you come on this page, you're going to see on the page, it has a breakdown of the funnel, but more importantly, what it has for you is there's training. So I put together this comprehensive offer creation training for those of you who want to add your own bonuses to it, to entice people to buy through you and to make them more likely as well to upgrade to the VIP. And this alone, people have told me I should have charged money for it because it's really a masterclass in offer creation, and it's not just for the summit. You can use it for anything that you're promoting. And you're also going to get a bunch of done for you promo assets. Now, I will say one thing. I know every affiliate program you join pretty much usually gives you swipes, and I'm doing it here too. Anyone who knows me personally and who follows my content long enough knows that I freaking hate swipes. I hate them with a passion. I hate giving done for you stuff. I hate giving swipes. And I really had to battle with myself to provide this to affiliates. But just, because of my history as an affiliate, I know the game and I understand that if I don't provide this stuff, a lot of people will sit on their thumbs. But the reason that I am a little bit hesitant about providing the stuff is I know, usually what a lot of affiliates will do is they will just take the stuff, copy and paste, and just be posting the same shit as everybody else. And then you just look like another clone. And I don't like that. And I don't think that's in your best interest personally for your own brand, for your own benefit. I mean, if I didn't care, yeah, most people who put together affiliate programs probably don't give a damn because they're not actually thinking about you. For them, it's just, I want to get my shit everywhere.
Yeah.
But I actually, this is my one gripe with giving you promo assets. So while I'm providing this for you, I recommend, even though they're swipes, don't use them verbatim. Take them, use it to get the information to get, angles that you can use in your content, but put it into your own words. That's what I recommend personally. Put it into your own words. That's the way that I like to do it. Because otherwise there's just too many people posting the same stuff.
You make it super easy here too. Like honestly, like this is a simple foundation for them to put a spin on it and put it in their own words really easily.
Exactly. It's very simple to do. Just put it into your own style, and then that way it's different than everybody else. But you're gonna have all you need. You got graphics. I actually just before getting on this call added a ton more graphics here too for you guys to use. So there's a ton of stuff in there. There's testimonials from our last summit. You can use these screenshots. You got everything you need in here. And you're gonna get a link to this by email once you join our affiliate program. So that's basically the full wrap up on everything I wanted to share. Now, if you have any questions, I don't know. There's already questions waiting. I'm happy to answer those questions for you guys.
I froze up, didn't I? Yes, I did.
Oh, shoot. Looks like you did, man.
Switch cameras. All right, we're back. Yeah, any questions, let us know in the comments below. Let's see if we got any. Eddie, I will definitely, Eddie, and we had 2 comments for an affiliate. I'll get that link over to you guys. Before I drop the link over to you after the live today, be sure to just jump to the link in the description below in the comments or the link in the description above the live. Sign up there first, and then as soon as I'm done with the live today, I'll drop the affiliate link to you. I'll drop you both a DM directly with that link. It's one of those things too, to me, where like the opportunity really sells itself. Like you mentioned before, this isn't just a free event. It's like a high level training. Like this is 70 entrepreneurs going deep into their expertise and holding nothing back.
Yep. By the way, if you joined in while we're in the middle of talking, I love to see who's in this who's consuming this stuff. So drop a comment below. I see quite a few of you already dropped a comment, but drop a comment and let us know if you're tuning in. I want to know who's all here because I'm in the group too, and I'm actually looking at it right now as we speak. I see we got Eddie. I see Grant is with us. Who else do we got? We got Dan. We got quite a few people tuning in with us.
Zeky, I'll let you answer this question too on screen. Would be a no.
No, you cannot. Technically, I mean, Thrivecart will allow you to. So Thrivecart will temporarily pay you out commissions on your own thing, but my evil ass is going to come and claw those back because it's because it defeats the whole purpose. That's not the purpose of the affiliate program. It's not to give yourself a discount and try and get back, what you paid on your VIP pass. So no, it's against our affiliate policies to sign up through your affiliate link. I'm not going to kick you out because of it, because I know it accidentally happens. But if you made a commission on your own purchase, then I will be clawing that back. Just a heads up.
If there's any affiliate program that allows that, I probably wouldn't be an affiliate for them. Awesome. All right. It looks like nobody has any further questions. I will definitely be reaching out to actually Eddie. Yep. You're welcome just to sign up in that link directly in the description above. I'll go ahead and just reply back to your comment with it so you have it directly. All right. I just hit you back in the comments with that. Awesome, guys. Well, for those of you here that are still through the end today, if you enjoyed today's presentation and Zeky's story, I know that is one of the most powerful stories I've ever heard. I've heard bits and pieces of it before, but to hear it all together, that was really powerful. And honestly, I want to keep coming back to what even your dad had shared with you to start about that sign on the wall. I feel like your journey, just sharing how like each and every point, like it took a long time to get to where you are. I think so many of us are like so caught up in looking at others in the space and seeing how others join a program and get results in a certain period of time. And it's easy to lose sight of the fact that we're all on our own journey. And Zeky is a perfect example of someone that never gave up. He never just said, you know what, I'm going to quit because it's not working for me. And he knew that he had to keep failing to get to where he is today. And it's a very powerful.
Yeah, 100%, man. One thing, I'm just gonna leave this for folks who are more in beginning stages, and this is, I don't even know, it was just at some point someone said this to me at some point in my life, and it always stuck with me ever since. But the only way, really, any endeavor you want to do in life, the only way for you to actually fail at this is for you to throw in the towel and give up. Because if you don't, until you decide to give up, it's just another failure on the journey. But we're all gonna go through failures. The guy who, I think it was Colonel Sanders, KFC. I saw something one time posted about him, and he tried to he tried to pitch his recipe that ultimately led to KFC to like hundreds of different restaurants or investors or something. I don't remember the exact details, and they all turned him down until eventually he started KFC or he got an investor or whatever. But that was like after pitching it to hundreds of people. And the same thing when you hear the stories of any massively successful entrepreneur like Walt Disney. Walt Disney was told that he was an idiot and that he had no creativity. You know what I mean? So it's just like you got to keep at it until you give up.
It took years. Yep.
Exactly. Until you give up, it's not like it's not really a failure. It's just another step on the journey.
To me, it all begins with knowing internally that you will find a way and you will figure it out. You got to have that belief. And if you do, and you don't give up, you will.
Yeah.
Dan, appreciate you tuning in, man, while traveling. Safe travels. I'll go ahead and drop you the link directly in your DM so you can hit that when you arrive. All right, guys, we will wrap up at that. With Zeky's final words. Let's all show some love in the comments for Zeky joining us here and sharing this opportunity with us, and more importantly, putting this together for y'all to take part in. With that said, Zeky,
Appreciate you having me,
jumping
man.
into the group, man. It's great to have you on, and I'm looking forward to seeing you back next week for the presentation.
Definitely, man. And make sure you guys attend Blake's session live, by the way, so you have the opportunity to ask your questions and engage in conversation, because we're going to make time for Q&A. So make sure to make it live if you can.
Yeah, I'll be sure to drop an event here in the group on it too, so you guys can see when it's going down. But I will be going live on Thursday of next week, and hope to see as many members here on that live. All right, guys, thanks for joining us on there Friday, and we will see you next week.